don't just have to be afraid of certain picks out there as well. You got a whole team of different things you need to keep an eye on if you want to be able to bring this team down. Here, I want to see a little bit of a respect going out there to start this off with the Fanny ban coming out from the side of DreamMax.
Yeah, they're going ahead and banning that Fanny. I do want to speak that Shaikichi has been very constant in the way that she has played. She doesn't die very well. She has a really great map awareness, great positioning. She stands well on her own there. And the fact that they changed King from EXP to the jungle, you can see a big shift there for them. I really do like what they did here with their changes. They're going to go ahead and ban the Freya here and Phoveus because he has been a monster to deal with.
Yeah, so we always talk about like this the changes here on some teams, about like the DreamMax changes in other teams here. But one interesting situation that I'm excited to see here is this is a special battle here, this 1v1 versus Shaikichi versus Shin, because for me, it is of the two of the best mid laners so far here on AMER South. Shaikichi is playing so solid. Her performance, is a very solid one. Shin is the master of the MVPs here with Entity7 playing and guaranteeing victory so far. So I'm really excited to see this battle here from the mid laners. And now Kimi, talking about mid laners, Kimi banned by Entity7, and now Harley is the last ban here on the first phase for DreamMax so far, Private.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. Ooh, Boxy is out there. That's going to give us, I want to say we've still got Marcel. We've got Suyo out there as well. Zushin is out there. So going to be a very interesting draft choice here, especially because you brought up, I want to say both these teams have had probably the most, I want to say, electrifying mid laners from the AMER South. When I forgot, I think it was a couple weeks ago, somebody asked me, when it comes to Entity7, who's your favorite player? And I'm like, Shin, like, is immediately what came to my mind as being one of those pillars of success for the side of Entity7. And you guys have heard me already to your blue in the face about talking about DreamMax these last few weeks. Shaikichi, who has just been a stellar. Even when DreamMax is kind of losing, she's still able to kind of maintain, and to be giving this to her, giving her the Zushin, especially a pick that I'm just like, I still don't think that there's valid counters for it. That tells me that there is a lot of confidence out here coming from Entity7.
Yes, for sure. That is a lot of confidence because we've seen what Shaikichi does with the Zushin, and Zushin on her own is already a menace. So that in itself is rough. But I guess they're like, oh, it's the first match. We can let them pick it out then, so we don't have to deal with it later where we're tilted or if anything happens. But this is pretty exciting. DreamMax and Entity7 going against each other for the first time here, and the battle of the mages. But they're going to go ahead and pick up that Claude as well, and the Grok and the Soyu on the side of DreamMax here. Great picks. Oh, Kareth too. Whoa.
Immediately.
Immediately. I agree with you, as in pretty exciting and pretty curious here, by the way, because by the time that we were seeing like this confidence, especially coming from Entity7, the team like would reach the top so far here on AMER South. I think that they only lost one map in one game. So letting out here Zushin for a DreamMax, it has to be a lot of confidence. And now bringing Claude and Grok. Okay, Claude with the Blazing Duet and some ability here has some chance to get trying to burst Zushin, for example. But for me, Grok, especially with its tectonic charge, to get to Zushin here is not going to be that easier for a blink here. Or maybe the idea is another thing, as another kind of execution here. But now when it comes to Harith, there's a very strong late game on the gold lane here. So now I think that DreamMax is worried about like getting the physical damage, but not only that, now it is time to get the resistance of this composition so far, Private.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very interesting strategy, trying to layer a lot of the CC that you have on the side of Entity7 here. You're going to lay down the real world manipulation, possibly try to bait out that ultimate coming out from Zushin so that she tries to get away. Then you've got a Tectonic Charge out there to maybe get the flicker out of the way. And once all is said and done and the smoke is cleared and we're all done with a lot of the CC, you can possibly have the Claude come in with that blazing duet, because now you're all out of everything you're trying to use to escape. But that doesn't really come online until that mid game. And I want to say, I mean, early game, Eve and Grok, they do have a fairly good clear, and they're going to be able to rotate, I want to say, fairly quickly here. That's what I'm going to be looking for on the side of DreamMax. Do we have something else in the early game that will help us to try to really get the dominance, especially for picks like Suyo and Zushin, to really kind of take off in the early game? Because once you kind of get to that mid and late, Claude's going to be able to come online once he has that Trinity build here. Oh, and we even see a Joy pick getting taken off the board by DreamMax. So both of these teams have done the respectable amount of homework for each other.
Yeah, both teams look very strong with their drafting here. So it could be anyone's game for sure. The way it all comes down to how their micro and macros are, right? They're gonna go ahead and pick up the Lapu Lapu, who's extremely tanky. It does massive damage as well. So, yeah, this is gonna be rough.
I don't know, maybe thinking about like what Prophet said, especially like something to help a DreamMax on the early game. I think that maybe Blink here could pick a Cho, for example, like to give this a presence and expression, because Entity7 banned Hilda, for example. So okay, Chip and Yusong, oh, more range here. So the mission here protecting especially Harriet, for example, or Zushin, it's bigger than ever.
Yeah, especially you're gonna have the Black Dragon. The only thing is, I want to say the last time we saw Chip, what I need to see here from Chip, if we're really, I need us to take full advantage of his kit. I know he can be pretty tanky. He's got a decent amount of CC when it comes to these objective fights, but we also need to take advantage of that map presence that he provides here, being able to catch the junglers off guard here. And I think the jungler is going to be Yusun Shin here for Hide on Bush. So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. Are we going to be able to take advantage, catch a little bit of Entity7 off guard, maybe single them out while they're trying to rotate? That's going to be something that's going to be big on the shoulders of DreamMax.
Yeah, especially here for Entity7 trying to guarantee this team fights before the objectives, especially when it comes to the hide on bush here with the Instant Shin, with the ability of the ultimate here to spot the player. So maybe it can be some kind of advantage for them, especially when Blink comes to with Chip. So I believe that this Trinity, jungle, mid, and roaming for Entity7, in my opinion, is going to be just a little bit better for Entity7 so far.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the night, a best of 5 featuring Entity7 taking on DreamMax.
Yes, my friend Private. So you in the broadcast, thank you so much for your audience. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome everybody to the Land of Dawn. This is the first game of Entity7 versus DreamMax. So let's go.
Now, you already saw a little bit of King got a little bit of a visit there from the roam. Going to go ahead and feed that information. So now back to his team, they're going to understand what buff he ended up starting off on there as well. I do like the Lapu Lapu pick here too, because I feel like it adds another layer of getting to that back line, putting on some CC, something else to hopefully waste out a lot of these damages or these dashes and these disengages from Shikitse. Now, a little bit of problem here. Blink might be in trouble here. 4 members of Entity7 putting the damage onto him. He is going to be able to escape.
Yeah, I was concerned about just a little about like a Viking situation because he wouldn't steal on level 2 on this possible team fight, for example. Like Blink was a way off ahead, but somehow Entity7 dealt in a good way with that situation. So far, no kills. You are seeing now the emblems system here from both teams, like something out of the box when it comes to quantum charging, pure rage, for example, on the mid lane here for Shin, for example. But now it is time to DreamMax, especially Blink, as he likes to play aggressive, he likes to play especially to get this info, but he is on a half HP, it could be a problem.
Yeah, Vagin's gonna go in against Blink, who takes a decent amount of damage. Shin is right there for the side recovery as well to try to put some damage onto the roam. And it does look like Entity7 might not be in a great position for this first Turtles. Speaking of which, coming in through the mid, and King able to find himself a retribution. And the fight has actually broken out here. Entity7 don't want to let them go without a reply. Blink very low. Concussive blast does not go off fast enough as Shin able to find the first kill, and Akashi with the flicker away. Goo gets taken out by Shin as well. You get the turtle, however, you lose 2 in the process.
Yeah, the turtle was for DreamMax here, but a nightmare might come out for DreamMax because there was a turbo kill for Shin. This Ivy is going to grow up so much in this game. For a moment, I thought that Akashi was the first player here to get killed because Lapu Lapu, the ultimate, was not so good, like was in vain, and he got just a little bit lost in the team fight, but somehow Entity7 got a bigger response coming out from this team fight here. So now on the mid lane, on the river, here we go again.
Yeah, honestly, something I just noticed too is Zeus doesn't actually have the build right for the hair. Oh, Vagin actually found another kill onto Goo, but King finally able to answer back with DreamMax's first kill of the game, bringing them to 1-3. Akashi does chase off King, but I mean, usually with the Harith, you usually want to start with the mana pages and the Azure Blade with your boot so that you can have your full cooldown that you need to be able to spam your dash when you lay down that Zaman Force. I feel like here Zeus went for a different build here, so he didn't have the spamming ability that you usually do with Harith when it comes with that Zaman Force. And now actually Doom taking real big advantage, putting a lot of damage on the Zeus.
Yeah, so but at the same time here we're seeing like with this choice from coming up from Zeus, Doom has a big chance here, especially for stacking his first skill all the time. So Zeus is not like so comfortable playing a gold lane, and now here comes the second turtle on at the downside of the river. Immediately is started by Entity7.
Yeah, and doesn't look like there's going to be too much of an answer coming out from the side of DreamMax. Oh, speaking of which, actually, they're actually going to go in, and Blink gets absolutely blown away. King looking for an escape and gets taken down by Akashi. That's 2 more down for the side of DreamMax, and also a turtle for the side of Entity7.
Entity7 here has a big response, especially coming up from Chip. Oh, Shaikichi!
Yeah, in a little bit of trouble here. They decide not to chase there. And I'm actually, I'm a little curious too, because DreamMax, on DreamMax's side, Zeus had already went ahead and recalled back to base when that turtle fight, or when the turtle was started by the side of Entity7. Still, Blink decided to go in. That kind of forced King's hand to go in as well. And you didn't even have your side laner there against 4 members of Entity7. Oh, a big Petrify does land on Akashi. Are they going to be able to find it? Bravest fighter form is out, and he goes back underneath the tower. A big stun lands. Akashi still manning up, able to face off 2 members of DreamMax.
And Immortal here, Akashi, and out in the bottom lane.
Oh yeah, big pop-up lands with the Blazing Duet. That's going to be Zeus down for the count. Still trying to come in here with those teleports coming in from Blade. Goo able to find himself a kill onto the jungler of Entity7 on the backside, taking a little bit of damage, while Doom on the side here gets taken out by King. So DreamMax able to answer back.
A very good response now coming out from DreamMax, but oh my goodness, Blink, what are you doing there? But here King with the help, and now Blink is able to survive. For the first time here, DreamMax was supposed to attack, was supposed to take the action to initiate, and Entity7 was able to respond so well, especially on the second turtle. But now Entity7 took the action to get this initiation, and it was like DreamMax's time to respond, and they responded very good. Guaranteed 2 kills, especially on Doom when it comes down to the third turtle. So immediately started by DreamMax. I think it's gonna be another team fight. Let's go.
Ooh, yeah, you see that Black Dragon trying to clear out a little space, trying to make a way for Doom. King able to find the retribution. Blazing Duet onto the back line, praying damage as Hide on Boost finds a kill onto Goo. Trapped underneath. Are they going to be able to find themselves an escape? King puts some damage onto Shen. Hide on Bush is able to find a kill onto Blink as Zeus returns the favor. Akashi in a little bit of trouble here, gets picked up, thrown back, but Shakiche is going to have to find a little bit of room to get away from Akashi, but that's going to allow Entity7 with that fight a push into the mid lane tier 1 tower.
Yeah, the targeting was not so good here, focusing on Akashi. He's a Lapu Lapu. He's a very strong and resistant one. Meanwhile, DreamMax was trying to get Akashi down. Entity7 worked in the macro here, taking down the first tower on the mid lane. Many people say that is the heart of the Land of Dawn so far. So Entity7, okay, they didn't get the second turtle, but they got the first tower here. They are working on macro, and Doom has to take care. It might be out 1v2.
Yeah, and not just any tower, the mid lane tower. Like you said, it's one of the most important towers when it comes to like the structure of your team's defense and how much room you guys actually have to be able to escape from ganks or pushes coming out from Entity7. So a great role there played by Entity7. They let the turtle go, but they are able to find that push into the mid lane of DreamMax, which is going to make things a little bit more harder for them. Harder, more so than the 3K gold lead that Entity7 is starting to mount. Goo taking a little bit of damage while he clears out these minions. And Akashi has been doing a really great job so far, being able to go in, find the kills he needs, and still find an escape as well. Sitting at 2-0 and 2, especially with how, when you watch these team fights unfold, how deep into the lines Akashi goes.
Yeah, and I was about to talk about like this Vagins situation when it comes to Rock, because I didn't see a tectonic charge, for example. But the last team fight here was very effective for Entity7, because they got a very beautiful knock up here. They got the advantage on the team fight, while meanwhile DreamMax was trying to respond. But now the Lord.
Oh, Blink goes in there. I think he was trying to get the rest of the team in there with the teleport. They all actually come in. Blazing Duet is out. Black Dragon onto the back line, but you can see the damage that Goo is taking back there. Is anybody able to help him out? He is going to put some damage out. Goo finds a kill onto Hide on Bush, but Shin able to reply in kind. Back and forth. 3 down for the side of DreamMax. 2 down for the side of Entity7 as DreamMax getting chased away. Entity7 with a full push here. Maybe looking to turn this back toward the Lord, but they do not have a jungler.
That was crazy here now so far, Private, because it was a 3-2 for Entity7. But as you said, there is no jungler, there's no retribution. But now, Hide on Bush is about to get back in the game. Entity7, he started the Lord again. Blink knows that. And now, where is King? King is joining the fight, is joining here. Maybe we have a fight back coming out from DreamMax. Let's go!
Oh, yeah, we have a wall coming out there. Do we have the teleports? We don't have an ult. Oh, Blink has the teleports out right now, but Hide on Bush able to find the retribution. Black Dragon onto the back line of 3 members of Entity7. Does find a kill onto Hide on Bush again, but answered back from Shin. Again, the reply coming out as King chasing down the rest of Entity7, trying to make them pay for that Lord. Blazing Duet comes out, finds Shakiche. Is this going to be enough to turn it around as Entity7 putting the damage onto Blink? 2 members left for DreamMax and a Lord cruising his way through mid lane.
These two tempo here team fight coming out from Entity7 so better. When it all appeared that it was gonna be a very good for DreamMax getting down 2 players. Now and after it came Doom with the Blazing Duet and Akashi. So far here, Private, he is a 3-0-5. A very strong Lapu Lapu so far on the XP lane. And a curious fact about Akashi, Private. Akashi spent a long time on the MLBB scenario playing as a gold laner, and now he's an XP laner and he's playing very solid.
Yeah, he has a great understanding of what his hero can take, the damage, the nullifying effect that he has with a lot of his defense, with Bravest Fighter form, especially on Lapu. We saw that double team up at top where Akashi, I think he had like 5, maybe 2% health left and was still able to bully back a King and Goo up at the top there trying to take his tower. So it's just a great understanding that he has when it comes to this hero, to how much damage he can take and what he can take as far before he has to run away. Unfortunately for Goo, I feel like every single time he dives for the back line, Entity7 do such a great job of disengaging and separating that Goo ends up taking, he is able to find a kill on the hide on bush, but he ends up taking so much damage that he gets taken out immediately after by Shen.
Yeah, when it comes to items here, line the Trinity Core coming out from Claude with the Corrosion Sight, Golden Staff, and Demon Hunter. While here, Heritage still have the Starling Sight and the Heaven's Feather. Another here is gonna be the Holy Crystal now, okay, coming from Zeus. And one thing that that I have to mention here, Private, is the intelligence of Vagin not using the tectonic charge for getting an initiation, for example. He sometimes wait for DreamMax taking these actions and wait to use the tectonic charge, for example, to knock it up 2 or 3 players. Not immediately, but he waits to the right time here on the team fight to still guarantee this advantage for Entity7. It is working not so well, but at the most of the time it is working. But now Blink, ooh, he was able to survive, but in the top side, okay, I think that he's going to live, right?
Yeah, he's trying to get some map pressure throughout, and they're trying to chase him down. But I have to agree, especially with the tectonic charges, it feels like once DreamMax tries to start chasing down the backside of Entity7, that's when Vagin comes in with the tectonic charge to be able to kind of really upset that gank or those pushes that are coming out from them. Here, King and Blink lying in wait, looking for a good position. Blink showing himself, wants to try to bait out the shot here. We do see the Mountain Chakra, I believe, came out from hide on a bush as well, down 25%. Portal is out, Black Dragon as well. Now looking for a good position here. King primed up and ready to try to face on hide on bush to get this retribution. Is he going to be able to find it? Popped up there. Gets taken out by Shin before he can find the retribution. But in reply, Shakiche able to find herself a double kill for DreamMax, a triple kill for DreamMax, and the rest of Entity7 is on the run. It's just Akashi looking for an escape. I'm wondering if Shakiche and Zeus are going to be able to find this. Ooh, popped back with the Zaman Force. You can see Zeus with the damage coming out. Bravest Fighter, Blink on the other side gets stunned alongside, and they do find a complete team wipe.
When it all comes to be an end here for DreamMax, you can call Super Shaikichi with the triple kill, saving DreamMax's life. And now it is time for the Dragon Boy here. Dragon Boy is to work on this macro. They took down the tower at number 2 on the bottom lane, and
another kill for Shaikichi there, as you see the ultimate coming out for the Zushin. Black Dragon to try to create some distance. On the backside, Zeus able to find the finishing touch onto Vagin, who does get taken down. Tried to use the tectonic charge as a defensive escape, but still gets blasted in the back. 15-15. DreamMax has found a way to even it up, but the Lord still pushing his way through mid.
I'm really lost now, Private, because okay, they got 2 kills on the bottom lane here with a Blink initiation once again, but they forgot the Lord. The Lord did a tackle on the high ground tower here, like it is a very, very injured. Like you see that the damage, you see that the HP here from the tower, right? So okay, it was good for DreamMax, but forgetting the Lord, just getting the kills. I'm not really sure it's gonna be interesting for the Dragon Boys.
I feel like when you're on the side of DreamMax, they're sitting there like it's not about the towers, it's about sending a message, hopefully, because yeah, you get kills, but you're not able to do anything with it, and you give up some towers. And as this game prolongs, I feel like those towers being lost are really gonna start to bite them. You've only got, I feel like, the 2 tier 2 towers at the bottom lane, and the rest of the map basically belongs to the side of Entity7. Here you can see Blazing Duet onto the backside, does find Zeus. Black Dragon unable to save the job. Shakiche has to use that flicker to get away. Akashi in trouble, does use that Bravest Fighter form to get himself out of harm's way. That does not stop Entity7 with this push at mid now. They're gonna make short work of that high ground tower, but now looking for the disengage.
I thought that they were about to try to finish the game, you know, because there is no Zeus at all. But now they decide to head back because 3 seconds remaining for the next Lord. Okay, DreamMax has 1 player last, but they have King, a jungler, a Retribution. Here we go.
Yeah, they're gonna go in there. Akashi goes into the back line. Doom trying to get those stacks on the King, who's gonna have to find a disengage. He's not gonna be in position for this Retribution. And hide on Bush, finds that. Dominant Force been laid down. Begin, taken down. Black Dragon is out again. Onto the back line. Shakiche in trouble. Shin gonna find the kill there for Entity7 while on the backside. King making short work of Akashi. But Akashi did his work. He was able to separate the team. Another Blazing Duet goes out. Goo in trouble. Doom finds himself a kill alongside a Shin. There are just 2 members left for DreamMax. 3 for the side of Entity7. Just kidding. 1 left for DreamMax, and it's Blink alone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be game 1 going to Entity7.
Victory!
Wow, what a battle there that was. Entity7 started off strong, getting 5 kills there by the 5-minute mark. And Turtle, they kept that on, but they kept things pretty even in gold, but they had great macro. I think that's kind of was like the factor in the win here, because it didn't seem like DreamMax was covering their bases there or making sure that they can keep that map control. So at the end of the day, it was Entity7 taking it all.
Yeah, such intense energy. It blew Rico right off of our screens here with that last matchup. And I think you nailed it right in the head, Azina, is that while it looks like they were keeping it even with kills, with gold, it felt like Entity7 was making more use of those kills, pushing towers, starting with the mid lane. And unfortunately, even the side of DreamMax was having problems. Well, when it came to some of the decision making, they decided to chase Entity7 instead of taking care of a Lord that was rolling its way down through mid lane.
Yes, for sure. Let's look at the score here. It was 17-20. They kept the kills pretty even here for sure, and the gold as well. But like we said, that macro was a big factor here, and they that's kind of what bit them in the ankle. They kind of like stopped them from getting any farther here. Blink did not do very well here. He did die a whole bunch. You did say that he was not a very tanky front here, and Akashi was shredding on them. He had they had that team fight participation for Shin here, and Doom doing an amazing job in keeping that control and dishing that damage to DreamMax.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing here to take a look at the team fight participation. 90 and 80% for Shin and Doom there. So even right from the beginning, before Doom even had all of his items, he was becoming a factor in a lot of these fights. Not just that, but Akashi constantly inside the midst of the fight and able to find an escape. Look at the focus on him, and still able to get away with that flicker from them, and even able to bait them out to find 2 kills for the side of Entity7. And while he might not have had the flashiest, he didn't didn't do like Shen. I think Shen had like 12 kills or something like that in that last game. Akashi definitely was the pillar that helped enable that for this team. And even here, 2v1, still able to find the fight and the stun onto them to where they both had to turn around. They didn't want any more Akashi saving his tower underneath there. Just a great balance of all of the abilities that he has, an understanding of the XP lane and what he needs to do before he has to look for an escape. So a great job by Akashi, but I feel like the MVP is probably going to go over to Shen, who did a great job. Like we said, 90% of those fights, he was completely in it, and that was enabled by this strong front line coming out from Entity7.
Yes, for sure. And to speak on Akashi, he did the beginning of the fight, he did not die. They tried so hard to take him down, and that was really amazing to see that he survived that. And he even almost took out one of the other teams that was trying to take him out right there. But yes, Shin did an amazing job keeping control, and that really was a big factor in the win.
I gotta tell you guys, it was so wild here that my internet connection couldn't stand this first match so far. But I'm back here just to tell that Akashi was really on a fire. But once again, Entity7 reading that situation that they have to deal with the turning point called Shaikichi. Because at the point of the game, Shaikichi was able to be the responsible for keeping a DreamMax on the game, especially on one of the team fights I think that was this team fight when she got a triple kill here, getting the Dragon Balls on the game. But by the time that Entity7 read that and said, okay, we have to deal with that, we have to neutralize Shaikichi, so they took the chance, they took the opportunity to finish this first game so far.
Yeah, and I want to say he did a really great job, especially with the pick there. If you want something that's going to be able to stay, look at he's going to take 3 of them at the bottom here while Goo is being chased down. He's able to do such a great job of separating the team, even when it came to jumping on the Shaikichi. You're in the back line. Look at this, the Winter Crown coming out from Doom there, able to find the kill onto I believe that was Goo who got taken down there as well. So I mean, a great job for them to actually hone in on Shaikichi and nail them down to not be a factor in a lot of these matches.
And of course, our MVP here is the great controller Shin. He with 8-10 KDA, 68.9k total damage, and 632 golds per minute. Did an outstanding job out there for his team and made sure that they got that win.
Yeah, I wonder how many MVPs that Shin got so far here on AMER South. I think that is more than 5 times here getting the MVP. He's the master of the MVP. But once again, playing so well here, especially with Ivy here with the KD 8-10 here, especially getting this range and this control with the ultimate to get this advantage for Entity7. So most of the times Shin playing with a very good position here and waiting for the right moment, especially when it comes to this second temple team fight, when all the players from DreamMax is using the resources, using their ultimate, and then getting the time here for you see now the real world manipulation after the whole DreamMax getting to taking the action, getting initiation, and after that Shin was able